What is the golden ratio?
In mathematics, two quantities are in the golden ratio. If the ratio is the same as the ratio of their numbers to the larger of two quantities.
Since the time of ancient Greek, artist, designer, thinker, scientist, and engineer have been fascinated golden ratio. In science, the body has many possible ratios, lots of which lie somewhere between 1 and 2. If you consider enough of them, then you are bound to get numbers close to the value of golden ratios, which is around 1.618.
Example of science about golden ratio is the Fibonacci sequence and the golden rectangle. Uninitiated, the golden ratio also called the golden mean, golden section, or the divine proportion.
Who is Piad? Piad was a Greek sculptor, painter, and architect. His statue of Zeus at Olympia was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient of the world.
In history, this ratio was named the golden ratio by the Greeks. In the world of mathematics, the numeric value is called pi, named for the Greek sculptor Phidias.
What is the purpose of the golden ratio?
The golden ratio is a ratio that is commonly found in nature. It can be used to create visually pleasing, organic-looking composition in your design project or artwork.
Why is golden ratio important? Golden ratio is important for any image, whether it's to convey important information or to create an aesthetically pleasing photograph. The golden ratio can help create a composition that will draw the eyes to the important elements of the photo.
It's one of the most famous irrational numbers, like another famous irrational number pi. The golden ratio goes on forever.
This mathematical concept is said to appear in nature and in various iconic pieces of art. It has allegedly inspired artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci.
Some researchers also feel that the importance of PHI in nature and culture has been vastly overblown. So what is golden ratio? The golden ratio was first described in Euclid's Element around 2,300 years ago. It is found by dividing a line into two parts, so that the long part divided by the short part is equal to the whole length divided by the long part.
The number that results is also related to the Fibonacci sequence. As a quick refresher, each number in the Fibonacci sequence after the first one derived by adding the two numbers before it, the ratio of each number to the previous number in the Fibonacci sequence is equal to p, which is usually approximated as 1.618.
Things get really fun through when you demonstrate this geometrically. That is because if you were to draw squares with the dimensions of the numbers in the sequence, you would create the famous golden ratio rectangle.
The harmony and proportion of golden ratio were recognized by mathematicians like Aristotle, Pythagoras, Muhammad ibn Musa al-Aqwarmi, and Bautista,
With some believing that the golden ratio could be the key to unlocking the divine secrets of the universe.
Golden ratio has also been seen as standard for beauty and aesthetic. Why? One reason is because it seems to appear often in nature. However, this is not as common as many think.
The idea that the golden ratio is universally found everywhere is an exaggeration.
The shape of the pine cone, Romanesco broccoli, and the shell of the nautilus are often given as typical examples of the golden ratio. However, none of this really follows the proportion of the golden ratio. You can also find the Fibonacci sequence in nature. The petals and leaves of plants are sometimes found within this pattern.
However, not every plant behaves this way, so you cannot call this a universal property. This does not make the golden ratio any less interesting or valuable.
Do we use golden ratio today? Yes and no.
Artists and designers may sometimes use the golden ratio in creating everything, from products to brand logos. There has been a lot discussion as to whether or not Apple logos uses the golden ratio, and it does not stop there.
Though the consensus is that frequency of appearance of the golden ratio is exaggerated, it may have practical uses.
The Fibonacci sequence has been used in the world of engineering, in computer data structure, and sorting algorithms, audio compression, and architectural engineering.
The golden ratio has also been useful
To researchers in fields like high-energy physics, quantum mechanics, and cryptography.
The artist, there may be another factor. Because of the golden ratio is pleasing to the eye, artists may also have an unconscious bias towards including in their work.
What do you think? Do you believe the importance of golden ratio is the myth?
Or is it nature's number? Leave your comments below.